boards, which you should have coal wood, long boards and short boards. But surfing's been a long time tradition and sport here in Hawaii. So I guess it's Hawaii's gift to the world in sports is surfing. So people from all over the world come out here to surf. So I'm even in prestigious surfing competitions. That happens. Last January we actually had one that happens on average about every 7 years called the ADA Cup competition. Finally happened after 7 years, prior to that was 7 years. So it's just how it happens, It doesn't have to be every 7 years. It just depends on how big the waves are that season. So it doesn't seem like it's probably going to happen this year. But also still have at least maybe until like next week or something. So, but anyways, still got a lot of big waves on the shore. So that's, you have to be careful if you go out over there and go to the beach. They usually have all the signs out there, lifeguards, make sure no one goes in. The waves are pretty big. But anyways, guys, we're now in KUALOA Valley. This beautiful 22-acre valley was first purchased by a Hawaiian chief named Joshua Ka'il. He bought the entire valley for $1,500, but ended up selling it. And then the valley was bought and sold about 3 times before Charles Judd purchased it in 1860 for $4,000. And has remained in the family name since. And just like his father, Dr. Garrett Judd, he purchased the entire land division of KUALOA, which extends from the mountains to the sea. So it includes the mountain as well. When this entire valley was purchased, again, it was a whole community, the whole land division, the Ahupua'a that was bought. And like our ancestors in the past, they were able to create a sustainable way of living through the Ahupua'a, or the land division system. What we're trying to do here today at KUALOA, as we do feel it is still our kuleana, our responsibility to ensure the land is sustainable for the future, is to continue to diversify and expand our agriculture so that we can continue to do that and create a sustainable way of living here. Growing our food, and we're utilizing the land much more now than it was even several years ago. We're getting back to using these ponds here to raise our fish. We got the land here that we're making use of to grow bananas and breadfruit, coconuts. We have sweet potato, there's taro. Now there's actually a total of 60 different crops and a variety of tropical flowers that we're growing over here at KUALOA. So a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables, and there's 3 different gardens that we're doing that with. And this agriculture center here is just one of the 3 locations that we have here at KUALOA. On your right side is a film location from the movie Kong Skull Island, in which Samuel Jackson's character, Lieutenant Colonel Preston Packer, was standing on top of the pile of rocks there with a torch in his hand, with a piles of sticks there. It's kind of stacked up, sort of like a teepee there. They were lit on fire, and he was holding the torch standing in the middle of the rocks, where he tries to lure Kong into a trap, in which it does work. Kong ends up right there in this big pond, which filled with a bunch of gasoline, and he throws the torch in it, and it lights a fire, burning Kong. It almost seems as though they actually may have had a chance of taking Kong down, but the plan didn't quite work that way. Anyways, that was the scene. It was shot at night, so everything was pretty dark in the scene as far as, visually it was just dark because it was shot at night. But again, everything was sort of kind of lit up with all the explosives and the fire that was used for shooting that scene. But on the left side, we got the movie Midway that filmed here. Aaron Eckhart, who's in that picture, plays Jimmy Doolittle. Now, of course, this was just after Japan was bombed and they were flying back over China. It was their only way of actually, surviving. They had a very small chance at survival because where they landed in China was a Japanese occupied territory. So they knew that there was still going to be, an enemy territory because of that. Again, not with the Chinese, but the Japanese at the time who had control over those areas and those villages. So of course, the planes crashed. He lands there in the village. The villagers help to help him escape. Of course, it's a true story. So Jimmy Doolittle survives and is able to escape. Unfortunately for those that were in the village that did that, a lot of them were actually killed for doing that, for helping Jimmy Doolittle escape. Now, it's not you don't see that necessarily in the film, that part, but it is mentioned at the end of the movie. But you do see the part how he makes friends with some of those villagers when they find him. And so this was the village was over here, including this area. But at the time we didn't have our sheep, so all of this was all used as a village. But over here to your left now we got Dorper sheep. Yeah, Dorper sheep was in the movie, but we got the Dorper sheep back in, I think 2019 is when we first got them. So a Dorper is actually from South Africa, and they're a hybrid of Dorset Horn and Black-head Persian. They were created to be able to withstand the arid climate that they have there. And so, we got Dorpers because they're also a fast-growing meat-producing animal. Within about 3 to 4 months, they can get up to market weight, which is about 80 to 90 pounds. They're also self-shearing, so we don't have to worry about shearing them. Their wool is actually quite thin, so it just sheds on its own. And we are still a working cattle ranch with about 600 to 700 head of cattle. Our mother cows are actually calving at the moment. We may see some of them, we may not. It just depends on where they are. I know they're supposed to be moving them around today, so I'm not too sure if they're still in the very back or if they're moving them up yet. But we do move them every several days to different pastures. And that's how it goes. Every 3-4 days, we'll move into a different pasture. We have mostly Angus. We got some Charolais as well. Angus Charolais cross, and we have Hereford. And we only raise beef over here, so that's all. We raise beef, and the beef is processed locally here on the island, and it's only sold right here at KUALOA at our KUALOA Grove Market. The trees on your right side is called breadfruit, and on your right side here, this is breadfruit, or ulu. It's a Hawaiian name for it, ulu. On your left, we have our freshwater ponds. We call them lokoi'a or lokovai. Yeah, so it's a fish pond, but it's a freshwater pond, so lokovai. We have tilapia, we have Malaysian prawns that we're raising over here. We got some apple bananas coming up over here on both your left as well as on your right. So these are apple bananas, which get their name from the apple-like taste, but they're still immature. We have our rainbow papayas on your left side. Now, originally the papayas were introduced by Garrett P. Wilder, a well-known botanist, who happened to also be the great-grandson of Dr. Garrett P. Judd, who I mentioned in the beginning of the tour. He was the advisor to King Kamehameha III. He was the medical commissioner and traveled to Hawaii. First generation of the family. He bought KUALOA from the king. His great-grandson, Garrett P. Wilder, was one of the botanists and introduced a few things, but papaya was one of them that he brought in. On your right side, our odor-free piggery. So the pigs that we have over here, of course, they're on top of a type of mulch that goes about 4 feet deep. So they dig down about 4 feet, they line it with logs and a few other things. They have this mulch that is mixed with sawdust and a type of, I guess it's a mulch with these types of indigenous microorganisms, I believe is what it is. It's like indigenous microorganisms that then break down and decompose the waste of the pig, helping to eliminate the odor. And that's how it works. Each mother pig there can give birth to about 12 babies at a time. Yeah, so our mother pig, Poku, a few months ago, gave birth to 10 babies. Right, and over here, on your right side, we have our chickens. So our female egg layers. We raise them for eggs as well as meat. We have several different types of chickens that we are raising, including Leghorn, Americana, and Rhode Island Red. Each of them, of course, laying different color eggs. Leghorn is white, Americana is blue. Rhode Island Red is actually a brown colored egg. So we got that. Again, egg layers, female egg layers, raise them for their eggs as well as their meat. Looks like they just moved the turkeys a little further back than what it was just a couple hours ago. So here's our turkeys, by the way, on your left side. The turkeys are our newest addition. We've had them for almost 2 years now. Yeah, that's the newest one that we brought in with turkeys. Now these trees over here are called cacao. Cacao is actually from South America. It does grow very well in Hawaii, even though Hawaii is about 21 degrees north of the equator. Cacao can actually grow within. It does grow really well between 10 to 20 degrees north and south of the equator. But Hawaii is a unique situation because we are surrounded by the Pacific Ocean, which regulates our climate. Cacao was first introduced to Hawaii by a German scientist, Dr. Wilhelm Hillebrand, in 1858. I'll correct myself. Actually, it was reintroduced by him in 1858. They say supposedly the first one was brought in by some other person. They don't name any names there, but it was in the 1830s, sometime in the 1830s. But it was reintroduced by Dr. Wilhelm Hillebrand in 1858. So yes, we grow cacao, we make our own chocolate from it. We sell the chocolate at our KUALOA Grow Market. And our KUALOA Agriculture Center shade house is located to your right side. We have dragon fruit here, we have cacao further inside. And on the other side of the shade house, we actually have koa trees that we're growing over there. Koa is actually native to Hawaii, but it's also an endangered species. So we are trying to reforest our native koa. Alright, family, I'd like to welcome you to KUALOA Valley. This beautiful 2,200 acre valley still belongs to the same family. 6 going on 7 generations today. As I make this turn, I'm going to take a look over to your left side. You're going to see this Moai statue. It was part of a documentary that National Geographic filmed here back in June of 2011 and released in November of 2012, showing how they can make it walk by tying ropes to the head of this Moai statue, making it walk across this road over here. This is the road that we're driving on. If you go to YouTube, you can actually find you can actually find the clips. You can find the longer clips that are 5 minutes. You can find the full hour or so clip as well. But over here, family, on your left side, this field was seen in the movie Jurassic World. So filmed here 10 years ago. In Jurassic World, they filmed the scene where for about 16 seconds, but it was a scene where the Gallimimus was running around the pin scours, the pin scour. It was one Jeep. By the way, the pin scour, if you're not too sure, was that brown Jeep that was outside of the bunker. That was actually our vehicle that we used to use on our old tours. We had an old jungle expedition tour back up until 2014. We used to use those vehicles. We phased them out in 2015. By 2014, like I said, 10 years ago, they were filming the movie here. So they bought it from us, featured our vehicle in the movie, and for about 16 seconds you see it. It was right here. Gallimimus is running around it. And you see the mountain there on your left was in the background with the monorail system superimposed along the ridge of the mountain. Now the Gallimimus scene was intentionally done by the director, Colin Trevorrow. Colin Trevorrow, he loves to do a lot of those callbacks to the original movies. He did that in Jurassic World as well as when he came back to direct Jurassic World Dominion, the third one, that came out a couple years ago. And if you watch it, both of those movies, there's always these callbacks. Kind of recreate scenes from the first Jurassic movie. The nostalgic, I guess calling back that nostalgia is what it is. Yeah, so the scene that he did there with the Gallimimus and the Pinscour was, again, a reference to the scene that was shot over here, that was shot in 1992. And by the way, when they filmed the movie here in 92, the reason for them coming out of here was because of a hurricane that hit down on Kauai and destroyed the entire island. So here it is, guys. This is the film location where the Gallimimus chased Dr. Alan Grant and 2 avid grandchildren, Rex and Tim, from that hill on your right side all the way down to this log on your left, which they jump over. They kind of tuck themselves underneath as they wait as the Gallimimus run past. The trees there on your left side, the tree lining, is where the T-Rex jumps out of the trees and eats one of the Gallimimus that is running past. It was shot right over here, guys. There on your left side. So that's I like to refer to it as our famous log, or island's most famous dead tree that we got here. Only made famous because of Jurassic Park. But coming up, guys, our next